What is up? It's been a very long time since I've sat in front of a camera and recorded a video. Quite some years, as a matter of fact. So, excuse me as I try to once again find my voice, find my recording voice, and get back in the swing of things. And what better way to get back into the swing of things than to go with what has been really pissing me off? We're on a sports channel, right? Football, I'm a Colts fan. What's really been pissing me off are my Colts. We've been horrible. And not just this past season where we end up landing a top five pick, but for the past few seasons. I'll say even so much as since we lost Phillip Rivers, since we lost Andrew Luck. So I've come up with a plan that's going to make me feel better about my team. Sometimes you just got to take things into your own hands and do it your own way. I can't personally own the team. I can't personally GM the team. I can't coach the team. I can't play for the team. Luckily for people like us, we have Madden that we can kind of play. More on that later. However, it sickens me that I have to turn on Madden to see a somewhat productive team. I don't like the way the team is run. I don't like the way the team is owned. I don't like the way the players play. I don't like anything about what the hell's been going on with my Colts. It's been a hard knock life, especially when you look at the team and you see how they play and you know that they are completely underachieving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my behind on Madden. Can we curse? I don't know if we. Well, I'm not monetized anyway on this channel. So if you would like to support the channel, I will have a link in the description to where you can support me via PayPal. I don't get paid for this, but anyway, I'm going to jump on Madden and I am going to take over my Colts franchise. Because this accomplishes two of two things. Two of maybe a couple of things. One, it gets me back into making content. And two, it makes me, like I said earlier, feel better about the display that I see from my Colts on a week in and week out basis. I am going to rebuild my Colts in my vision and do things that I think are the proper things for this franchise. I'm going to take the risks that we don't take with Ballard. Ballard just doesn't take any risk with free agency, with draft. He just does not take any risks. So I'm going to take those risks. I'm going to make the free agent splashes. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do a whole bunch of things to try to fix this franchise or burn it straight to the ground. So, first, I'm going to start as an owner. I'm not going to play any games. None whatsoever. We're going to watch the games. I'm going to react as if I'm in the owner's box. But I'm not going to play the games. We're going to watch them. And if that doesn't work and we're still playing like trash and I feel like the team is a good team, I'm going to jump down into the coach's box. And if I jump down in the coach's box, maybe next season or the season after, then I'll start playing the games manually. But for now, we're going to build the team in my image, as if I'm God. And then we're going to watch the games. We're going to watch them together, not in full. We're going to do it in a highlight way, but we're going to have some fun with it. So now we are going to go over the team and look at some of the holes and some of the positives in the team that I think needs to either be corrected or we're going to keep. I'm going to pick 5 players that we are going to build around, some key points, some keystones of our team that we're going to keep or try to keep no matter what. Everybody else is expendable. Now, I can also say that I made an attempt to try to replicate the season of the NFL, meaning wins and losses for every team. And I got 2 games wrong where No. I got 1 game wrong where I gave the Bengals an extra loss to the Ravens. That was a mistake. And you can't force ties in this. Silly, right? You can't force ties in this. So the Giants tie ended up being, I believe, a Giants win to the Commanders. And the tie with the Colts and Texans They gave that tie to the Texans, couldn't force them. So, we lose out on that. So that's three incorrectable things that we couldn't work around. Well, two that we couldn't work around. One that was a complete mistake. And it gives us a number three pick. But I'm going to pick the quarterback that I personally think that we're going to end up with. And I think that we're not going to land CJ Stroud. I think that he's going to go with the Texans. And I think that we'll probably pick up Bryce Young if CJ Stroud isn't on the board. But because of the Bears having the number one pick in real life, the Texans can do something to move up and secure that number one pick, or the Colts can. I don't think the Colts should move because you got two options there, and either one would be fine. I personally like CJ a little bit more, but that's because of size and composure. Someone that I think will have more of a longevity as far as health wise in the NFL. Because I mean, when you're small like that, you take some hits, man. If you don't put on that weight. But either quarterback will be fine. I'm just going to stay where we are in the third position. I'm going to take Bryce because I think that in real life, the Texans are going to end up with CJ. So I'm going to take Bryce because I think that we're going to end up with him. Now, let's get into the game, and we're going to go over these rosters and see what it is that I am going to keep and what it is that is expendable. We're going to look around the league. We're going to look at possible free agents. Matter of fact, we can do that in the next video where we look at off-season stuff in the next video. And then from there, we're going to start building up the team. So for now, let's look at the keeps, the keys, and the expendables. So now I wonder if this is going to be weird, since now I'm going to be looking in this direction at the screen instead of looking right here at you. I'm looking over here at the screen. And it's kind of going to be like that a little bit for some of these games. Well, for all of the games. 5 players that we are going to try our best to keep no matter what. And everybody else is expendable, like I've said maybe about 5 times now. And none of them are quarterbacks. They all can go. Jonathan Taylor, he stays. That's 1. Michael Pittman, I think that there's something here with him, so he'll be 2. On the offensive line, we just have Quentin Nelson, who's going to be our cornerstone. Everybody else, I don't care about. Ryan Kelly, I don't think that he's lived up to the draft pick that we spent on him way back in the day. About 5 years now, 6 years. It's been about 6 years. We have nothing on this O-line, so I just can't imagine all of the people who say that, oh, the Colts have such a great O-line. We had one good season on this offensive line. That was it. Braden Smith's okay. We'll keep him around, but he's definitely not someone I'm going to peg as a cornerstone. Kwity Paye I like a lot. Let's see. Ben Banagoo, he's definitely expendable. Yake Ngokene, him right there, that dude right there that you see. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Even though when he was a Jaguar, he absolutely killed us. Grover Stewart, that makes 4. Grover Stewart, we are going to build around. If the time comes and we can't keep DeForest Buckner, we're going to try our best to trade him, but probably no time soon. We got him for, I don't know what his contract is. We'll look into that in the off season, see what his contract is looking like. But Grover Stewart's going to be, I think that he'll be easier to keep. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. If we got Buckner for some years, then we building around him. We'll build around the both of them because our interior pass rush and run stopping is going to be pretty good. And then we got Darius Leonard, who wants to go by Shaq Leonard. I'm going to change his name back to Darius Leonard just to not confuse myself. We're definitely going to build around him. That makes 5. I don't see anything else that I really care about. Zaire Franklin, I mean, by this point, I guess in Madden, they should have given him a much better overall. We'll keep him around, but he's not someone we're going to build around. Bobby Okereke, he's progressing pretty well. We'll hold on to him. We'll hold on to Stephon Gilmore as long as we can. Maybe get like another 2 seasons out of him. Kenny Moore, this guy's hit or miss in my book. Kenny Moore is hit or miss in my book. He could be really good or he can just completely disappear. And that scares me. Isaiah Rodgers, we're definitely going to keep around and work on building him up. But if he's got to go, oh, well, he's got to go. But that shouldn't be anytime soon. Julian Blackman, hopefully he can progress a bit more. We're pretty young here at the safety position. I believe both free safety and strong safety. Well, we're not going to keep Rodney McLeod. He's up there. He's up there in age, so we don't have to worry about him. At kicker and punter, we're perfectly fine with Chase McLaughlin, who actually had a pretty good season, coming in for what was that boy name with the glasses, with the goggles? Man, he was man. I can't remember his name. He gone and now I don't remember the kid. And Rigoberto Sanchez, he's been around. We're gonna keep him and just try to progress him as much as we can. So yeah, the guys that we are going to build around: Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson. Yes, he has a black name. Michael Pittman, Grover Stewart, and Darius Leonard are going to be our 5 guys that we are going to try to keep at all times, no matter what. I told you about the guys that I would like to see progress, which is Jelani Woods. Let's go over here to wide receiver, because I didn't mention much here. Alec Pierce, I want to keep him around and see if he can progress. I like Ashton Dunlin, but I hope I said his name right. I like him, but depends on whether or not the game wants us to sign him or not. Him and Parrish Campbell, and God knows y'all know how I feel about Parrish Campbell. Since the time he was drafted, completely we missed the ball on that one, bro. It's times like that where I look at Ballard and say, "Are you dead ass, bro? You dead ass?" Parrish Campbell over DK Metcalf. We see how that worked out. So he's expendable just off of GP. I don't even want him around because we messed up on that one. Everybody on the O-line is expendable. We're going to try our best to build up Braden Smith, and of course Quentin Nelson stays. Everybody else is expendable for all I care. I named the guys that I like to see keep around. Let's see if there's anybody I would like to develop. Kenny Moore, I might trade to see if there's any. I might put him on the block, see if there's any value that we can get out of him. Because once contract time comes around, he's probably going to be pretty hard to keep. And everybody else can go. I'm gutting this team over the next 3 years, and we're going to build through the draft. But we're going to get veteran leadership in free agency. So if there's some splash that we can make in free agency, we're going to make it. Otherwise, we are going to build it from the draft. Hopefully I can get that right.